Good evening, everyone. It's 6:15 on the clock, p.m. I'm a little later than I usually come on. And that's because I went outside this morning to ground and look at the sun. And I took some pictures of the sun, and there was crazy tons of ETs in the clouds and sun today. So I took pictures, and I spent all day on Illustrator framing them to show you. But it's a really weird energy today, and I didn't sleep well last night. Yeah, just feeling a little like being on the computer for a long time really kind of threw me off a bit. But I didn't sleep well last night either, and it's just weird energies today. And I know there's an interesting incoming energy right now. And let's go ahead first and take our deep breath. And we're going to do 3 deep breaths again. And we're going to hold a little bit each time, whatever you're comfortable with, okay? Go ahead and take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. And get that air to your toes, to your crown, to your fingertips, to your tip of your ears. Let's go ahead and take one more deep breath. Let it all out. Sending lots of love and blessings out to everybody. All right, so first I want to show you the pictures I took because they were really cool. You can check them out. First is I'm going to show you the reads. This is the union read for today. The 4D, 5D, 6D, Divine Feminine on the left, Masculine on the right, the bridge between them in the center, incoming Divine Feminine, outgoing Divine Masculine, the underlying energies, and the closing energies from the Syrian Starseed deck. This is the basic read. I forgot, and I put these cards down already, so that's why they're there. But this is the basic read from the Syrian Starseed deck for the 7-deck read that you see in front of you, which is this read, a 7-deck read. It's a lot of energy. If something doesn't resonate with you, don't force it to fit. And if you want something more personalized, you can check out my information below, as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com. I have a CD out there too called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames if you want to listen to that. It's only $1 for a song. It's a great way to support me. And then the pictures from this morning. So I'm going to show you the picture, and then I'm going to show you my outline that I drew so that you could see what I was looking at. But there, if you look at these pictures, you're going to see a whole lot more than just the ones I outlined. So, for example, in this one, let me just see. There's so many I saw after I drew my pictures, and there were other ones I saw while I was drawing my pictures. But here's these are all in a row. All these sun pictures are from within just 1 or 2 minutes of each other. So this one, you see all of those cloaked energies, and there was more than those 5. I just, it took me a while to do this. So, and then, all right, so again, if you look back at this picture, you might be able to see them. I'm drawing right over them. All right, so then the next one was here, same sort of picture because it was close to the other one, and you see as they're walking towards the sun. And then I have this picture where you see there's that blue in front of the sun. It's like a man, and I drew that with other energies. These are other energies, like the cloaked energies with them. And then this one here, which is wings with a heart at the center. Right here is the heart. And then let me use my little pointer here. So here is the heart, and here are the wings in the dark. And I'm going to show you the picture of that. All right, so that's the wings and the heart. How cool is that? I dropped my pointer. And then this one is a peacock bride, I call this one. And you'll see it there. And then you have This is literally a being reaching out to this. The sun is the head of a child. And you see the child, it's even could be like a girl with a dress with frills on the back, but this also initially looked to me like a little boy with his weapons on his backpack on the back. So this is a little girl or a little boy, and there's literally a being here reaching out and touching their face. So my drawing isn't very good, but you get the idea there. Okay, so there's a being reaching out to this child. And then we have this one, which is some beings literally sleeping with each other, and I'll show you the outline drawing. So here is exactly what I saw. All right, so there's like a being sleeping with someone else cuddling with them. And if you look down here, you're going to see a whole bunch of different energies like sleeping together. But you'll see other things too. I initially saw like, this is like that dream home as they're showing themselves sleeping in this. And then I looked down below and I saw even more of these ET energies sleeping all in this circle here. And not only that, if you look at these pictures closely in the dark energies along here, there's so many beings in there. If you look at these different pictures, so you might want to take a minute and look back at some of the pictures, see if you see anything else. It was really amazing how many ET energies I saw in the sky, and that was just from, like I said, a minute or two of taking pictures this morning. I don't usually see them when I take the sun pics, so that was pretty cool. Okay, so the union energy, we're going to roll the die first. Let's see what comes up from the dice. For the twin flames today is the 9th of July, 2021. It's the new moon tonight, not till around 9:30 East Coast. And here we have Mercury. We have the number 9, which is also the Hermit, also September. And then we also have the 69 of the Cancer energy, which we are in Cancer right now. So again, we have Cancer, Hermit, which is Virgo. Cancer is also the mother energy. And then we have the Mercury, which is also Virgo and Gemini, which is also all about communication. So let's see how that plays out with this read today. So the union read was done at 2:37 yesterday afternoon. 2 is the High Priestess, 37 is the King of Cups. Let me focus that in for you now. There we go. There's some natural light for you. Okay. So the new moon tonight actually. The union energy started with the 8 of Wands and the underlying energy, the solar deity or the sun in the center, and the final card was the Page of Pentacles. And a lot of energy regarding Poseidon and also Neptune came up. So Poseidon is Greek, and it has to do with the sea, of course, and he's the son of Kronos and Rhea. Neptune is Latin, and it's the Roman version as opposed to the Greek Poseidon. Neptune is the Roman freshwater king, right? He's king of the freshwater as opposed to the saltwater like Poseidon. And dolphins and seahorses are associated with Neptune as opposed to Poseidon. So there's the union read starts with an energetic exchange, whether that's communication, travel, or literally your energy, and that includes sexual energy, in the circle of trust, fully energized and exposing all in the sun, as the Page of Pentacles is curious about their abilities, or a crystal child, a new project, a job, or perhaps feeling, or money, and self-help energy was coming up as well. By the way, it's been so hot this week that when I jogged today, I couldn't jog the whole time. I had to stop and walk because I literally felt like I was going to pass out. It was very, very humid. But I didn't feel that way the other times I jogged this week. So there's definitely energy coming in that's a little bit off. So again, the Page of Pentacles, curious about their abilities, or a crystal child, a new project, job, money, or self-help was coming up here. The incoming Divine Feminine with Ascension, the 10 of Wands, and the 2 of Pentacles. Completion of energetic cycle with the World in the right hand. Atlas leaving the Wounded Warrior behind, right? Atlas is the 10 of Wands, the Wounded Warrior is the 9 of Wands. And in this deck, it's literally climbing up the stairs from the dungeon leaving the wounded warrior behind, only coming up with one wand. With the weight and the world, surrendering to all that is, ending passion and the creativity cycle to move on to manifestation and surrender. So it's like moving from the wands to the pentacles. The 4D here is the 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, and the starseed. The Divine Feminine Trinity, which is also Tri, Ni, Tai, Tri, a show of power and gratitude. The workplace, expanding creation. The Divine Masculine Starseed, receiving a big download from the Page of Pentacles and their curiosity. Uploading the crown in the emerald, indigo, purple jungle, ready for the new moon to take a leap of faith and plant a seed at 0 point. Bridging with balance and sharing, time and money, handouts and cooperation here, but the co-op was coming up here, so you may be dealing with a co-op. Balancing self and creation, care and expansion with grace and ease. The 5D here is the 9 of Swords, the solar deity or the sun, and the wheel or the great wheel of fortune. The Divine Feminine, suffering in silence, or perhaps a sister is involved here, or staying out of the sun, needing to chill, which is funny because I didn't realize I just said that. It was too hot. Or hiding out for a bit. I wrote big though, so hiding out for big, and Sex and the City just came up the other day. I wrote big by accident instead of bit. So again, Divine Feminine, suffering in silence, or staying out of the sun, needing to chill, or hide out for a bit in the moist underground soil or amongst the crystals. The Divine Masculine destiny of Atom and E, bombs to Atom's crown, and E circling around the world, or dental work needed, aiming for Jimmy Neutron at 0 point, but having to get them through the 3-ringed circus, planes of existence and or dimensions, keeping it high with the protons and cons of electrons, bridging with sunshine and Pegasus, which means springs, able to hoof it, and well springs eternal, creating water streams with his hoof. There are at least 2 springs that are named after Pegasus, called Hippocrene or Creenie, Hippo and then Crene, which literally means horse spring, believed to have been issued forth by Pegasus's hoof. One is at Mount Helicon, a sacred abode of the muses or inspired poets, and then Bellerophon captured and tamed Pegasus with the help of Athena. He was captured at the Stalinat Pierion spring. So his parents, Poseidon and Medusa, and then stabled by Zeus to draw the chariot of his thunderbolts. Pegasus with Metatron and Michael, thunder and lightning, yet Neptune dragged on the beach by a chariot, and Pegasus drew the chariot. Pegasus headed toward the Divine Masculine to create water streams, and again, water's emotions, away from his snake mother and salty father. Now we're talking about Pegasus. Away from his snake mother and salty father. In the 6D here is Karma, the 6 of Wands, and the 7 of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine Karma, cleaning for graduation, to evolve and forgive, as the Divine Masculine's in the Divine Feminine's heart, walking or working on the puzzle, or the E-Tower effect. Mind spring, or mind, the mind is spinning in circles like electrons, bridging with the 6 of Wands, leading the expansion, with Pegasus leading the chariot. Rudolph has retired, and now appointed Dancer and Vixen to work out their problems together under Pegasus, since Pegasus has already learned to forgive Zeus. The Divine Feminine is co-creating the end of suffering and karma with forgiveness. The Divine Masculine in a fresh start with fresh water, Neptune, and dream energy destined to find E at the E-Tower, of course, in the heart of the moment, destined or destiny taking its course. The bridge here is the balance and sharing time, money, and energy in the sun, happiness, and vacation, exposing all with good news and leading the way, getting the classroom ready for fire drill, cell splitting, and getting over the threshold. The outgoing divine masculine here is the 5 of Wands, guidance, and the 7 of Wands. So there's a group of 5, light and grain, waving, expanding guidance, and expanding a guidance system with the phoenix rising from the ashes with flame in hand away from the drama. To tango with one dream, or to tango with I Dream of Jeannie, aka Eden, with the Page of Pentacles, fresh start, inspired by abilities and crystal. The divine feminine had Pisces and Aquarius on their side, and the divine masculine had Libra, Aries, and Taurus on their side, along with the Page of Pentacles. Between the masculine and the feminine was Leo, but are they sharing and are they leading? So, you know, because Leo doesn't always like to share, right? Leo likes to be the center of attention, but they can be very generous at the same time. So there's a question mark under both of those. Is Leo sharing or Leo leading? And that's what's coming up between the twins. And remember, Leo is also ego as well as children and pets. So take that how it comes to you, or how it is. The number that comes up with this read was a 63. And 63 is the 9 of Swords, which is that suffering and silence energy of being stressed out, purging, crying, headaches, whatever you're not sleeping because of. And the horizontal pillars came up as 21, 9, and 33, which is the World, the Hermit, and the 7 of Wands, the Christ vibration. And the vertical pillars came out 8, 10, 2, 12, 12, 7, 5, 7, which is the Strength card, the Wheel, the High Priestess, 2 hanging men, so it doesn't have to be a man, the Chariot, and the Hierophant, and another Chariot again. So the message was coming up as all one rising out of suffering. The dance of destiny and secret to hanging wisely and ascending through separation and suffering and silence. Okay, so again, talking about what the twins did during the journey. So now we have the Syrian Starseed deck cut and dealt for the Twin Flame read at 353, which is the Empress, and the 53 of the Knight of Swords, which the Empress is all about abundance, it's Gaia, it's the mother energy, and abundance. And then the 53 of the Knight of Swords, which is the Messenger of Truth, can be the Knight of Shining Armor too. But it's all about that really fast knight who comes in with the truth. Can be a message or a delivery in person. Also could be a soldier or police energy there. At 4:07, I just was guided to look up at the clock and write that number down, 4:07, because that's my sweet spot between the numbers 4 and 7. And then at 4:04, the word dance came up. So dance. At 4:16, I completed the clarifiers, and that's the 4 of the Emperor, 16 of the Tower, and 4 times 4 is 16. So I was guided to let you know that. So again, when I say 4 times 4 as opposed to 4 plus 4, right? Because a negative plus a negative is still a negative, but a negative times a negative becomes a positive. So it's the exponential factor, okay? So we have, as far as the major arcana, I'm still having trouble talking, so Mercury's still affecting me. We have the solar deity, Chariot, the reflection, which is the Hermit, abundance, which is the Empress, and after the read, ascension, which is the World, and transition, or the Death card came up. We had 1 wand, 2 pentacles, 3 cups, and 1 sword. And the Knight of Pentacles, King of Cups, Page of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles came up in the read as the court cards. The Queen of Wands also came up before the read. And as far as the numbers in the read, we only had double 8s and 3, 4. That was it. There were other numbers that came up, but they're part of the extra 5 on either side of the read. So we also had double 1s in a lesser sense, but the 8, 8 was the most significant, which is the 2 twins dancing side by side. And the 34 is the 8 of Wands, the arrows of love, and the energetic exchange between the twins. So in a lesser sense, we also had the numbers of 12, 31, which is the hanging man, and the 31 of the expansion of the 5 of Wands, which is also the pursuit of happiness, the impossible dream. And 11 of Justice. 1, 2, 3, 4, shut the door. 6, 7, 8, lay them straight. Give it to them straight. 18 of the Moon, as we're in the new moon tonight. And then the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, the high vibration, the destiny. The 46 of the loving children hugging each other. And the 810 with 0 behind 81, which is, for me, it's the end of karma around the world. The code line was all about music. And here are the messages that came up from the code line. See clearly, be the sage, see the high road. Our soul is the chariot, the divine feminine within the masculine, the seeker of the missing piece. The sweet Steinway music was coming up, but also sweet music in general. Sudden event, southeast, see, which is see with your eyes, see with your heart, your ocean of emotion, see with the sea of Christ or unity consciousness. CETs. So interesting, because I didn't take those pictures until this morning, and I did this read yesterday. So I just showed you a whole bunch of ETs in the sky. Sudden event, southeast, ETs. The queen, the clear, the wise one. The 309, which is so weird because I heard someone say 309 this morning, but 309 is a highway that's near me. And 309 is also the high road. The 309 also, which is a supplement that you might want to take. Take the high road. Our exposure to the sun, gold, eyes, and uniqueness. He is the vehicle and the structure of walking away. Of walking away and within with the sweet music here. So music was big time coming up here, and I actually haven't played much lately, and I actually played last night, the night before, my piano. So again, I'm going to read that again because it was really choppy the way I told you. So with the sudden event, southeast, or the sea and the sea, the ETs, and the wise ones, the queen of being clear on taking the high road, perhaps 309, in our exposure to the sun, again being exposed, but gold and eyes and uniqueness all coming up around that. And again, Leo just came up. He, the vehicle and the student of walking away and within with sweet music. Also, it's sweet how to clear the high road. Our soul and loneliness, the divine feminine within the masculine, and time out for the student to walk away and within to sweet music. Again, so music was on the code line. It's very important to listen to music, to calm your soul and take the high road. And that was at 4:44, which is very angelic, so you might want to listen to some angelic music. And the code line was all about the number 8, which is the dance, doing the dance. And that came up before the read as well, dance, number 8, which came up at 4:04, which again is 8. So the 8 is also in Spirit's connecting with me. The dance and the 8 is the inner and outer strength, but also the manifestation of your dreams. It's going with the flow, and it's being the 5D as opposed to the 3D, which is the lap dance of the two 4s stacked on top of each other, like the lap dance. The 8 is the upright dance, or the do-si-do. So we start out here with the underlying energy card here, and I go 5 cards down and 5 cards out at the end. So, and the midi clarifiers are on top. But starting from the bottom up, the underlying energy here was the Queen of Wands on the bottom, and the 7 of Pentacles, both reversed. Then the 8 of Wands, upright. The Ace of Swords reversed. The 2 of Pentacles, upright. And then on top, the underlying energy was the 4 of Wands reversed. And there's 2 4 of Wands reversed above each other, right? So this card on top right here and this card on top right here are both 4 of Wands reversed. And that rarely comes up, where I have 2 cards as the underlying energy, both the same exact card in the same position. So the Queen of Wands, coming out of the Divine Feminine's heart, perhaps, implementing a new plan in energetic exchange, the hours of love, divided, in need of truth, of the juggler's performance, the fish out of water, surrendering to all, the instability, the move, visit, end of a marriage, or the party's just over. Atlas and working too hard, burdened and slaving perhaps, for the Queen of Pentacles or as the Queen of Pentacles, keeping to themselves in surrender. Co-creation or the workplace, any place of co-creation, whether it's church or school or the art center, whatever it is for you, and not walking away from passion and growth presented or the possibility of from the King of Pentacles reversed, who may be bored or detached or on the fence, apathetic or feeling sorry for themselves, grounding and integrating their surrender. Coming together with the Six of Cups upright, the children hugging each other, which is that energy of past lives and your childhood and just loving children in general, being that innocent inner child, both knowing and keeping to themselves in a breaking down to the angelic realms. Or perhaps you're selling your car and hoofing it. You're going to change, maybe you're turning over a new leaf and going to be much more holistic. Off the beaten path with antennas up or antennae up, leaving the puppet show behind, a mossy blanket and untamed pets, and no riddle me this. Dipping toes in the water, skipping pond stones, in a break up, a break down, break in, out, or through, only which way but loose, or any which way but loose, foot loose. Everybody get foot loose. All right, so there's the dance again, and fancy free. Coming together with soulmate in the mountains perhaps for a visitor move. So it's very clear here, dance and music. The King of Swords upright with the Empress's footman. Maybe she's treating the King of Swords like her footman. And this could be a mother or a partner, you know. It could be a grandmother as well, or an aunt. So he's implementing a plan to end the war with the Empress. Crosses on the ceiling and head-to-toe coverage, investing in PTSD to clean up post-war. No need to invest in the Empress. She's got enough. Pentacles versus swords. Spending versus ending the war within. Attraction comes up, and beneath it was free yourself. Free yourself, don't fence me in. And then on top is attraction. So you may be tired or supporting, or he may be tired or of supporting her post-war cleanup, because maybe it's never ending. She's always finding something else she needs. Hanging out, inspecting, or being inspected. The Page of Pentacles is hurting themselves, trying to please everyone and be perfect, you know, like the child who may cut themselves because they need to get straight A's. Allowing others to take advantage of them. This could be also allowing others to get them drunk, right? Not saying no, because they always want to please everybody. The Ten of Cups family sending out the errand boy. The injustice of a breakdown or loss of a vehicle. Cancer reversed, Sag, Taurus, and Capricorn upright, Libra reversed, and Cancer reversed here. No more Tinkerbell, and no more harsh lashings, no more back tickles, or BS in a splitting of the bulls. Stuck, perhaps, with someone with long legs and ankle bracelets, or getting screwed, or with a mini dress and fancy fruit, missing sweet feet, or more lady-like dress. Done with the running for the bulls. Surrender comes up with 91, and beneath that environment, which is 44. And 44 is the Four of Cups, the grounding and integrating and mastering of love, especially receiving it. So is that the environment you're in? And then on top here was surrender. So we're detoxing, sunshine and exposure, withholding, saving for a new life, ending the nightmare, dumping a load, and coming out moving or visiting or unstable home or house. And it's so funny we're talking about dumping stuff. Literally right now, my next door neighbors got a Home Depot truck in the driveway. They must be delivering deck panels for his deck, which is interesting because I'm waiting for some panels for my deck to be replaced. And I got them through Lowe's because it was cheaper and quicker to get through Lowe's. And they just, after talking to them twice, they just emailed me and said my order was canceled. Hopefully that's not correct. But just saying, there's a lot about Lowe's and Home Depot coming up, so you may be dealing with them as well. So off the wall, after letting go of responsibilities, including the house or family, done performing under pressure, by two bucks who may be watching you all the time, or maybe that's to do with money, and or one losing it or now coming out with it. Somebody may be exhausted. There may be a homecoming times 2. The 4 of Wands is reversed and the 4 of Wands is reversed. And there's that 44 again of the 3D dance, not the 5D dance. Or selling or moving out of 2 homes at the same time to walk off the beaten path and be patient with the Empress upright who can't drive or is always in a state of emergency or fight or flight and surrendering or needing to surrender. So the underlying energy here is the Magician upright. This is the most underlying energy from the read. The Emperor reversed, as you see them over here in the corner. Manifesting with tools and abusing their power, or the Magicians manipulating one who's losing their power to their advantage, right? And that could be, an older person who can't remember everything anymore. And then going forward after this read, we're going to have the energies of the worst being over, dealing with an ex perhaps, ending the battle or competition in uncomfortable energies. In those energies and freeing the Fool to leap away from the Queen of Pentacles upright and the Emperor reversed, or the Queen of Pentacles upright is leaping themselves away from the Emperor reversed, with the Knight of Swords with 16 channels on in a breakup and or no affection. The Knight of Pentacles is upright, offering to juggle or perform with the King of Cups upright. Okay, there's an earth energy and a water energy. So the Knight of Pentacles is usually younger, but it doesn't have to be if it's the energy of an older person. But the Knight of Pentacles is upright, right? The loyal, humble servant offering to juggle or perform with the King of Cups upright, who's also unconditional love. The recent past here is a reflection of Hermit on the Magician reversed and the Sovereign reversed, insecure and powerless. The Knight of Pentacles offering something to separate from the Page of Swords reversed, or perhaps their own negative self-talk, or the negative self-talk of the Queen of Cups upright, or her negative message or silent treatment perhaps, as the Queen of Cups is being wise, hanging out in a release, standing up for themselves in energetic exchange with the Ten of Cups family, or a happy ending, or an emotional cycle that's over, with a need for tools and perhaps their power back. And that could be power tools as well. Maybe you loan them out and they haven't gotten them back. The foundation here is the King of Pentacles coming together with the Queen of Wands reversed, now that the worst is over, dissatisfied with a car or breakup, break in, break out, or break through, or emergencies or taking call, as the Knight of Wands is always to the rescue every time she messes up. The Knight of Pentacles making an offer to end the war, no longer happy with them and wanting to break up, and the Knight of Wands may be coming in to help. The central energy here is the Sun upright, sunshine, energy, happiness, and exposure, with the Queen of Cups upright, perhaps a Pisces, hanging out or with Capricorn or with a Pisces, and suddenly an angel or patient in a higher love, not telling about a deception or at the new moon. Hermit with light on exposing sudden events, epiphanies, or sex, or Leo freaking out suddenly, blowing their top, blowing their crown, their cover, or their mind, with Capricorn upright and Sagittarius right there, like doing it in front of them, maybe they're embarrassing themselves, and holding back verbally with Virgo with Cancer. Or the Queen of Cups Pisces, or hanging out with Capricorn, Scorpio, or Sag, and there's a Cancer reversed and Virgo upright, which could be 2 people or 1 person with both of those signs. The challenge being here, brokenness, or of Cancer reversed, the injustice of depression and or arrogance of the Page of Wands reversed, here being forced to make a choice, playing hardball to end the battle, with exposure of the Emperor reversed and their abusive power, and the Page of Cups upright unable to express their emotions about putting it all out there to touch, in an energetic exchange of passion, or lots of communication or travel back and forth. The wounded warrior surrendering to the King and Queen of Cups, they're both upright here, with the Ten of Pentacles, though, family, business, or community bridge of deception perhaps with the King of Pentacles reversed, not sharing, or dealing with inequity there. Someone's not being fair. There could be a debt, or someone scammed the other. And there may be inequity of how they may not have told someone how they actually earned their money. Somebody's coming clean with guilt and or shame. And now the King of Cups is upright with the Page of Cups upright child exposing themselves, coming clean to the Ten of Cups upright family to free themselves from the Knight of Wands reversed player, or perhaps sexual abuse, or just being in the spotlight, or being a famous person, or feeling the abuse because you are famous. There's two ways this can be taken. It's either a famous person who gets abused because of their fame, right? Perhaps unwanted advances that come in, people pushing their sexuality on them, or the famous person pushing their agenda on other people because they think they can get away with it, because they always do. Coming clean or cleaning up the actor space with an unstable home or house, or a move or visit, or perhaps you're just doing work like Home Depot trucks coming in and out of the house. Being strong, taming the beast, and not working out with synchronicities, or there's just so many options here. The King of Cups with the Page of Cups and 2 out to eat, or the King of Cups upright and the Emperor's reversed, grieving or feeling badly. Perhaps a present or about a gift, and the Hermit is missing their flame. The King of Cups juggling or performing or distracting others from heeding the call, or just not calling, needing to swallow their pride with a breakup or no affection at present, and the rejection or jealousy of the Page of Pentacles, which also could be an opportunity or an invitation to split or get to the truth of it. Sudden jealous rage on the fence about being led. The 6 of Cups, soulmates, and the Hermit with advice, recovering from destitution, exile, injury, or illness. And soon as the Page of Cups, with their heart wide open, twins in 5D connection, as the 2 of Cups upright. The Queen of Swords speaking about backpedaling, the downturn, the twist of fate, that it's not a good time, which makes the King of Cups upright then turn his back, feeling guilty, focusing on the High Priestess, a secret, or a religious woman. An aid or a Pisces, moving or unstable home, inspired, or talk of a visit, or more inspiring, or the move is inspiring the Page of Cups, child. Perhaps the Page of Cups got the Queen of Swords to express for them to the King of Cups, right? Because the Page of Cups child couldn't express themselves. But the Page of Cups can also be that loving message from an adult, from perhaps the Queen of Swords to express for them or for themselves to the King of Cups and Queen of Cups about their suffering in silence, or about a sister, about timing or moving issues, perhaps with a house, and what they're inspired by may not be the same for them. So this could be a child who has totally different views than their parents, and getting someone else to tell them for them so they'll make them understand. And this is coming up as a very loving child with loving parents. So it's not about them either, any of them being bad people. It's just the parents obviously won't allow the child to be who they are. So the child's trying to stand their ground here. The twin flames are seeing themselves as the Queen of Pentacles, which is very solid and stable and grounded energy, very motherly, standing up for or to the King of Wands, dumping a load, purging, or overwhelmed by the injustice of the house or home and or the union upside down, and holding on to what they've got left, with Libra reversed here. Love yourself first, keep an open mind, and also flirt, romantic feelings, and true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. Around the twins are how they're seen as the 3 of Swords, which is separation, heartbreak, or just feeling stress in your heart perhaps. The Hierophant finding peace or traveling to rehearse or release self from prison of inequity, unfair commitment. The block here being the 8 of Cups reversed, suffering in silence on a journey to bring good news to depressed divine masculine. With music, there could be a narcissistic Hierophant here, or a musclehead old man, perhaps with multiple girls, perhaps the cause of 2 who are now recovering without an olive branch from them, so no help from them. The Empress with the King of Cups in energetic exchange, with dark night or death, ending or transition, sitting on the fence or at the gate, with the King of Pentacles reversed, not sharing and coming clean about it all, with Taurus and Scorpio upright in energetic exchange, the Empress with a big new passion, Virgo and Scorpio upright here, soulmates recovering from an upside down world, or they're just worlds apart. With the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and the Page of Cups, their message of love, inspired to put it out there and lead the way. The Divine Feminine in 5D, needing closure now that the worst is over, of death, transition, dark night, temptation, or Capricorn, or the ball and chain waving, or Scorpio and Capricorn waving hello or goodbye, and adios came up yesterday. At 6:16, which is the Lovers in the Tower, instability or move, the visit of the Knight of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles in separation, reflecting happiness by exposing all, challenged by brokenness, and the Page of Cups' message of love, the heart open wide even to those uncomfortable energies, or even to those who are not giving them love in return, and not walking away, with the King of Cups upright and the Empress inspired to lead the way, to end the cycle of pain and suffering, regarding death, endings, dark night of the soul, transitioning, and the shadow side always waving, addictions, codependencies, or just a tempting Capricorn, or a Capricorn perhaps goading you on. Juggling homes or visits, or whether or not to, with the Hermit reflecting the same. So again, somebody may be thinking about moving or going to visit someone, and it's coming up and whether or not they should do that, and then the other person's doing the exact same thing, right? So the Knight of Pentacles exposing all to the King of Cups, and challenged by brokenness or car issues, the Queen of Pentacles with loving message or child in separation or at a distance of uncomfortable energies, with the Empress excited to bring good news, with the world upside down, but the worst now is over, and now in the bliss of transitioning, with Capricorn or shadow side, or the right shoulder perhaps, at 6:23, which is the Lovers and the King of Wands. So there's sun exposure of the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, in separation or a heartbreak. There could be Virgo and Taurus are the main energies here in the read, along with Leo upright and challenged by Cancer reversed, the King of Cups and the King of Cups and Page of Cups, which can be Pisces, but they can also be Cancer or Scorpio. But the Page of Cups, child or loving message, and the two of them challenged by brokenness, and the block here being uncomfortable feelings or energies of not having walked away. The King of Cups and the Empress of unconditional love, of the mother inspired to lead with good news to an upside down world, or Pisces reversed now that the worst is over for Scorpio, or a transformation overall. Virgo and Taurus are the main signs in the read, along with Cancer and Pisces reversed plus Scorpio reversed, so all three water signs clustered at the end of the read, and the after card reads up here. But definitely the Virgo and Taurus were the main energies in the read. So definitely could be dealing with broken homes as well, with 2 4 of Wands reverse. So we're going to pull a few cards and see what comes up. Definitely some stressful energy here. I'm sure I watched it before, Yours, Mine, and Ours. It's an old movie. I watched that last night, and it was really cool because in one part of the movie, he was going to leave her and go out on the ship because he was in the military, and the ship that he was on was 720, which is 0 behind 72, which is the 4 of Pentacles, but 72 is also the half of the 144, right, the 2 by 2s. And it's also July 2nd. So, I did a masculine read from my Lenormand Reverie yesterday, and I'm gonna read it to you just to give you the energy. It's a quick one because it was also on my birthday at 9/18, so it's coming up as significant to read you, so I'm going to. The underlying energy was the 2 owls, which has to do with, wise counsel, or just having a more serious conversation, as opposed to the birds, who are very social and just, having fun talking to each other. The first card out was the tree and the scythe. So wise counsel, serious conversation, regarding the family tree, needing to cut to the chase. With any luck, the snake will grow the pearl with only 1 door at the pearly gates instead of 2, right? So there's a choice, usually there's a choice of 2 doors in the card, but it was saying here, with any luck, right, because the snake is like the bacteria getting in the clam or the oyster. The snake is the venom getting in, but it becomes the pearl. So it's coming up as with any luck, the snake will grow the pearl with only one door at the pearly gates. 2 as 1. I hope you don't hear that. They're banging a lot in the driveway, which is triggering me a little bit. Take a deep breath. It might be the negative energies from the guys dumping the stuff too. So I just want to make sure you can't hear it. So 2 as 1 on the merry-go-round with loving lady and death to the skirts, wrecking the place. Actually, I wrote skirts by accident, but it was supposed to be squirts, you know, like the little mice or the kids or the pets, whoever wrecking the place. So again, 2 as 1 on the merry-go-round with loving lady and death to the squirts, wrecking the place, or the skirts. Dr. Jackal or Dr. Jacket, Dr. Jackal and Mr. Mouse, loyal and waiting for leash to be put on. But that's supposed to be leash. So you're supposed to get both of those messages. With sunshine and travel, ungrounded flight, uncharted isle, which is the energy that's coming up right now, the mountains a bitch to cross, when the direction is your true north. To 2 as 1 with the power man going public for the ride, and the loving man with the loving lady, as I'm losing my voice because they're switching from the power man to the loving man, with the loving lady abundant from death and burned twin bridges, to the power lady with leash and exposing the key to the child's journey. A lot of chatter about 2 storks and their nest, that it's time for the mother bear of the power man with ring of commitment to public persona with 3 faces, his, hers, and ours, and the secret to death and the 5D connection and abundance. 2 fishes, the codes to the house and to union of twin bridges that were ripped to shreds from the maze of the cyclone of the karmic and pup. And I'm getting Tasmanian devil now too. So again, ripped to shreds from the maze of the cyclone of karma and the page of cups, or the pup, which can be the same, right? Because the page of cups can represent a puppy. To 0 point, where still waters run deep, exposing release in Cancer at the new moon, which is tonight, or mid-cycle 717, as the child embarks or new adventure begins. Power in the higher self, cracking the whip with the fox to cut ties with the establishment with multiple faces, and a gift of the code to break through to union, taking a risk in the labyrinth to find peace and quiet, bringing up emotions to the surface and taking a closer look at the new and mid-moons here coming up. So this week is big. So let's go ahead and read a couple cards for you from the Animal Spirit deck. I'm just going to turn the light on here for this because you can see the cards a little bit better. Oh, it's just 7:02, guys, as I just told you about 7:20. And it is 48:48, which is the walking away and within. And also can be those uncomfortable energies of not walking away and within when you need to. So let's see what the Animal Spirit cards have to say here. All right, the Animal Spirit deck. What is the closing energy for the twins today? What do we need to know? What do we need to know? All right, these guys just came up together. The elephant and the gazelle. And you notice, the first thing I noticed was the flame matching the background of the gazelle, which is the sun. And it's kind of like, though, the sun on the what is it called? You know, in Africa on the plains, but it's not the word I'm looking for. So whatever like the African plains are referred to, I just can't think of the word. But that's what I'm getting, like, and and not the sun belt, but I'm getting the sun belt too. But obviously they want me to get the African energy here. I was just getting the movie too, from the movie. My kids and their dad used to watch it all the time. I say it sometimes about being in Africa. If the name comes up, I'll let you know. But anyway, Africa's coming up here. And India too, because the third eye and the dot. So there's India and Africa. The Indian elephant and African came up the other day too. But here the gazelle too. On the plains, on the, what is the word? On the, I want to say not jetties, but you know, like the jetties are at the beach, but the Gettys? No. Whatever, you know what I'm referring to. If you can think of the word, please put it in the comments. My brain won't retrieve it. And then I have the octopus here too, and the octopus needs to put boundaries up. And the gazelle is very elegant. They're very, very graceful. So grace and ease is coming up with that, and the elephant as well, right? The elephant is very loving and nurturing and never forgets. And they hear everything, right? They have big ears. Eyes and ears. And you see they're all three cards are looking directly at you. All right? They're all eyes and ears. There's another 3 cards coming up as well. The bottom of the deck is the moth. There's something else that needs to come up, but just give me a second here. So the bottom of the deck is the moth, you know, like a moth to the flame. And then we have Mr. Ed here, of course. And this is, Mr. Ed for me that represents God. The Sag energy always comes up as God because they're very expansive and creative, right? They get along with everybody, and they always want to understand different cultures and different places. So it's, you know, being the moth to the flame. And you notice there's very yellow and green here, which is the solar plexus and the heart. Being very confident, but heart-based at the same time, and being drawn into the God energy here of the horse. And you see the new moon energy here, okay? Like a moth to the flame to God. And there may be a Sagittarian star as well, because the star card was behind the horse. And then we have that Sagittarius anyway, right? Okay. And then these 3 guys came up. The zebra, so the horse again. The zebra is very similar to the horse, again with their third eye lit up. And there again is the snake of the energy that the collective has been downloaded with all of the new codes of the Rainbow Bridge, that it's sealed. And here's the elk, which is also expressing the crown energy here of the hot sun. You know, it's so humid, and I spoke about that too. And there's something about the heat that allows more energy for us we can absorb more energy when it's really hot and humid like this. Or just telling you to make sure to take it easy because it is so hot and humid out, and you're also getting a huge download of energy right now. But they're showing us 3 different placements of energy. Right here's the third eye. This is in the whole collective, and this is on the crown. So your crown is very lit up right here from the sun, from the energy from the sun. As the collective gets their downloads, comes into the grid, right? The flower of life. And the zebra never changes their stripes. And on the sidebar here is the hyena, right? Who's sneaky and likes to make jokes at other people's expense, and you can't trust them, right? So why do we have 3 and 3 and 1, which is 7, which is very spiritual, and then the moth to the flame, which is God, with with Mr. Ed behind there, the horseman, as I talked about Pegasus, but also then the horseman is coming up, which is the and I'm blanking at Centaur. Centaur, is that what you want me to say? Yes. So not only Pegasus, but not just the horse, the man on the horse, or the man horse. The man horse, the man horse. And that came up in my tag the other day. The horse and the zebra. The Ibra is one, it is one's self. And then the horse came up next to it because the zebra and the horse look very much alike, like each other. They just have different coloring. And even the horse in this picture has white and black. The zebra's white and black is just more separated, but they actually are very similar. Their ears are a little bit different, but they're very similar. And they both have their third eyes open there. The zebra's is the masculine energy of the upside, the right side up triangle, and the horse has the new moon energy of the crescent, which is more of the feminine energy. So again, this came up before, where they want us to understand the feminine is woken up to her masculine third eye, and the masculine is woken up to his feminine third eye. That could be actually more of a masculine fourth eye, because the fourth eye is more connected to the throat. And so the third eye is pineal. For me, the fourth eye is the pituitary connected to the throat is the fourth eye. There's a connection there. That came up multiple times before. So I guess the fourth eye is considered more masculine, the third eye is more feminine. That's interesting. But again, and what they're showing you is that, like the moth to the flame regarding people and God, that this will be the collective to the twins, all right? It's like a moth to the flame in needing help, in wearing the crown. And make sure not to be bothered by the hyenas who start making jokes about twins, right? When the collective starts coming out for the twins' help, there's going to be, the powers that be always cracking jokes right, because they're insecure. Remember that's the hyena. And don't feed into that. Just ignore that. Here's the elk and the hyena back to back, right? It's like you see how it's like the two is one energy, the crowning glory, and then the hyena is jealous of that. They don't like that, so they bite, or they make jokes at your expense. So don't even worry about it, right? The elk would blow it off. They wouldn't even give it another thought. But again, the first three cards that came up was the elephant, the gazelle, and the octopus. And the octopus has, their crowns all lit up there. And I just was talking about the third eye and the fourth eye, not just the third eye. So here's the very colorful crown. It's like they're wearing a bathing cap, like swimming, and wearing a bathing cap to protect their crown. So again, we have the crown and these three on the same position, okay, to protect their crown. You see how there's a circle in the middle on both of them? And then we have the elephant and the zebra, both on the African plane. So, yeah. So the octopus is needing to put up boundaries because that's the same position as where the elk had to deal with the hyena. So it's just like three different cards expressing the same kind of energy but in different personalities. Right? Because here we have the octopus wears a bathing cap with lots of colors on it, but the elk likes to wear a crown that's very gold and orange, right? Red and orange. It's kind of keeping them grounded there. Like no one's going to mess with them because they see their antlers, That's their boundary, right? The octopus needs boundaries. They have their antlers. That's their boundaries. People see it. It's very apparent. So the octopus has to put on a cap, their thinking cap, in order to express boundaries to other people. Very interesting the way that's coming up. The ones in the middle tend to glide right through on the plains. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain, but I'm getting the African plains. What's it called? The elephant is cradling the flame. And there's something about ivory coming up with the elephant's tusks. I don't know if there's something in the news about the elephants in India and Africa. Maybe there's more extinction news because of poachers. I'm getting Annie get your gun. Annie got your gun. Annie get your gun. Is that the name of the movie, the play? Annie get your gun. Yeah, so anyway, that's coming up around poachers. But just in general, animals in Africa and India are at risk here. There may be energies about twins coming together to save the animals from extinction. The octopus, oh, my octopus teacher, if you haven't watched that, watch that. But also the octopus may be in danger of extinction as well. They need to set up boundaries better. And the gazelle. The gazelle may change, oh, you may be seeing changes in the animal personalities because of the downloads as well. Not only from the shedding stuff at home, you may be seeing changes in your pets. Hopefully the pets will be okay, but you may be, I was getting that again from other places today after I told you guys that, because that was one of the messages I was getting this week, was about your animals may start showing personality changes. I don't know if it's going to become a medical issue or if it's just personality, like PTSD issues with coming up with pets. But now they're bringing up that same issue with the jungle animals on the plains, with extinction, but also with them getting so much energy coming in, them also awakening. You're going to see personality changes of the animals. Oh, how cool will that be? They'll be more interested in communing with humans. Very interesting. Okay. So let's see what the journey of love has to say. It's 7:17 on the clock. That's a confirmation. It was just 1:02:17 on this clock. 1 is the magician, 2 is the high priestess, and the 17 of the stars, and 7 is the chariot. So the stars and the chariot ascending together. The stars are all coming out, so I don't know if there's an award show as well. That could be coming up as well. Remember, I also said Christmas in July is the feminine's Christmas. The emu's coming up. Shakti. So again, the feminine warrior energy of the lower chakra system. The feminine fire. And then sweet soul rising of the innocent, like the Page of Cups energy coming up. So there's much about the feminines and the animals. And this is coming up. Mary Magdalene's coming up again with the knowing without knowing again. This is, again, very African energy, right? You know, hauling water and things like that. There's the M for the Mary Magdalene, but also that very African energy of Mary Magdalene. A lot of people say that she may have very well been from Africa. Knowing without knowing is the 41 of the Ace of Cups, self-love, spiritual love, new love, and then 19 of the Sun in the very hot weather, right? African weather. The 20 of the sweet soul rising of the new moons. The new moon across the waters. What is trying to come up here? All right. So this is coming up to Spirit's connecting with me. 23 is the King of Wands across the waters, and I'm still getting Africa. And again, you know, this is standing inside the cyclone, which is, you know, that's the 3D craziness, right? The cyclone. She's standing partly in the vortex, but partly in the wall of the cyclone. So she's still in it, but not being affected by it, you see? The Mary Magdalene energy, because of the African lineage, they had to take a lot in the hot sun. That's what they're coming up with, right? Mary Magdalene's, she's giving heritage props to her African heritage, that because of that DNA, she's really tough. She's able to withstand the cyclone and be in the vortex, be half in and half out without being affected so much, and yet being sweet at the same time. Sweet soul rising, the Shakti of the sun. Oh, and that was coming up yesterday too, of the when I couldn't sleep, I don't know why, I was guided to look up my name, which I don't know why I did, because I've looked up my name, before. I know what its meaning is. But Eve was coming up as, so Evelyn comes up as a couple different things. You all know what Eve is. And Lynn also, people interpret as little Eve, because Lynn can be little. But it also has to do with, I was just getting belittling. And they're telling me that's belittling. You're to be little, right? That means to be smaller than or less than. So, but another definition is for Eve is actually Ishtar, which came up in the definition that Ishtar is actually the same as Ashtar. It's called, they say more Ashtara, but it's really coming up as all the same energy, which is that, goddess of fertility and war at the same time, right? So beauty and fertility, but war at the same time. And this is coming up as the African beauty. The sweet soul, the sweet fiery soul of the African beauty, which Mary Magdalene is here supporting, who is so strong because of growing up on the African plains in the sun and the heat. So you have to become adjusted to that. So that's why they're able to take the heat. There's the message for you. And then we have the shifting universes and she loves, and there's very similar energy here, even though they're very different. The colors are very similar, but slightly off from each other. There's a lot of music energy here again, and music was coming up in the read as the main energy, music and dancing. So a lot of dancing and music. Again, there's symbolism here of music and instruments. And shifting universes, again, shifting your energy with the chariot, which is the vehicle of ascension, with the divine feminine within the masculine. That is the chariot, the vehicle of ascension. And that she loves, which is 61, which 61/7 is the way 61 is written, and 61 is the year I was born. So again, helping shift the energies using music and codes and the chariot of ascension of the divine feminine within the masculine she loves. Okay. And there's, the twin flames come from the Mary Magdalene energy, the rod and staff unions of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. So it's just using me as a representation of that. But they're saying not to make myself small, because I will. But again, they're using me as a representation of the twins, that you are not small, quite the opposite. And this is about taking risks. 61 is that 7 of swords, of ascending in the chariot and loving. I'm getting so here's the vortex, right, of across the waters, which is emotional waters, but also country waters. And I was getting this as being in the vortex. I don't know why I don't usually get that at all. But I was literally getting this as shooting through the vortex. As music shoots through the vortex. You see it? The signs and symbols of music that will make you want to do the dance. Right? The dance between the masculine and feminine. And there she is waiting. She's waiting in the vortex with music. It's shooting through. Because she loves. It's really beautiful energy. The bottom of the deck is Towering Magnificence, the 30 of Union, the Towering Union. I just showed you all those pictures of this, very much this energy in the clouds. Look back at the clouds. I showed you there's a dark line of clouds and there's so much energy in that. And here's all the energy in the picture of all of the guides, the very tall guides and other guides, your friends. This also represents the energy at 9/11 Memorial of the ETs coming up from underneath the ground, rising up like a big push-up cone. You know what I'm talking about? And what's beneath that is heaven. There you go, heaven. 70 is the 2 of Pentacles, doing the dance of heaven on earth. 2x2s. Look, they're all 2x2s of the towering magnificence of the unions coming together. And again, New York's coming up again. I tell you over and over again. 9/11 just came up in the picture, and there's an etheric altar from Atlantis that's above the Statue of Liberty. And one of the first big visions I'd gotten was the twins at the bottom of the Statue of Liberty receiving the Palladian ship at the top. So there's that energy, but I was also telling you about the tunnels underneath New York, that something would come up around that, because there's going to be more children saved, I'm sure of that. There's a lot of very deep tunnels under New York. So, but anyway, this energy coming up here is very beautiful, and it's very beautiful around the union. So make sure you drink your water, get your rest best you can. Get your joy, get your nature. Make sure you ground, and rest when you need to right now. It's kind of crazy energy. And be good to yourselves. Rise and be love. I love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing day, and I will speak to you soon. Bye, guys.